When we go to Second Life and we engage in different actions there, we can see how much they resemble our actions in everyday life. They really aren't that different, even though we're not quite as graceful as we usually are in everyday life. But in Second Life, just the awkwardness and the clunkiness we experience as we careen here and there from one world to another, doing whatever we're doing, standing on beds and standing on chairs and getting inside fireplaces and doing things that we're not supposed to be doing. We can see that that we have a general ability to laugh at ourselves here in Second Life. And we'd be much better off with that in everyday life too, a general ability to laugh at ourselves, to add some lightness and humor. And so in clarity itself, we find a great sense of humor, a sense of joy and exhilaration. We don't take ourselves to be as serious as we once did. We find the whole project of human life to be filled with incredible possibility. We find that in fact, we're totally empowered, and we seize that power. We seize the power of our own mind. We seize the power that our own mind has for complete mental and emotional stability. And we claim that mental and emotional stability as our own. We don't follow the dictates any longer of society that tell us what our emotions mean and our thoughts mean and our sensations means. Instead, we find out for ourselves in the light of clarity, what do these mean? What do these mean to me? If we link into only the notions of society, then we link into notions that cause mental and emotional instability. But if we rely on the power of clarity, we open up into a vast intelligence, clarity intelligence. We're linked in. We're automatically linked in. And we find a new power within ourselves, a power to live, to know, and to do extraordinary things that we had never dreamt of or imagined before. This is extremely important. It is so important that by the power of it, we have created a clarity society. We have created an era of great benefit where none existed before. Before, we lived in an era of lack and negativity. Now we live in an era of great benefit that is spread out all over the world. And it's all through the power of people just like you and me, seizing the power of our own mind, seizing the power of the mind to know and to do, seizing the power of the mind to know and to do beyond the limits of reified intelligence. This intelligence is naturally present, and its all-encompassing view, all points of view are naturally present as its dynamic energy. Like the sun and its rays, clarity and viewpoints are inseparable. So too with the body, with clarity and the body. Just like with the sun and its rays, clarity and the viewpoint of the body are inseparable. Clarity is naturally present everywhere and in everything. It is that from which comes all phenomena, like the vault of the vast sky that we look up and see all around us here in our clarity sky dome. On Second Life, clarity is unwavering and free of elaboration, just like the sky. The sky never wavers. It's free of any kind of elaboration. This natural presence of clarity is the vast expanse of all phenomena whatsoever. This is the ground for all that arises, and clarity is not a thing. It is not just another thing to objectify. Clarity pervades everything, so it's the most basic identity of you and me and everything. Such is the obvious reality that is the true nature of all phenomena, our very own clarity. But again, it is not a thing. It is wedded to everything, pervading everything, permeating everything, saturating everything, becoming more and more predominant, more and more obvious in every single moment, no matter what you're doing. Once you pay attention to clarity and you've acknowledged it, from that moment on, it will continue to become more and more predominant. It will come to the foreground rather than being in the background. By prioritizing clarity even a little, it will start to become more and more obvious, more and more evident. And as clarity becomes more obvious and evident, then its signs and demonstrations become more obvious and evident too. All of a sudden, that old sourpuss face you used to have, it starts to brighten up. The skin that looked like you were near death, your skin was so gray you couldn't buy enough creams anywhere in the world to put on your skin to brighten it up. You find all of a sudden a natural light within your skin that's better than any cream or cosmetic that you could ever find. And all of this comes from clarity. These are natural, everyday changes that come about. You look at your eyes in the mirror and they look like shining suns, where before they looked like tiny peepholes that you could barely see out of, bloodshot and dingy. And so things really perk up all around. Decision making and the flow of resting comes about just through the power of settling down in clarity, settling in completely. Just like you would in your favorite sweater or blanket, just settling in, nice and cozy and comfortable in clarity. Then you grow to trust your clarity decision making, usually gradually, because you see that by just waiting for a while, clarity will deliver a perfect decision. Then you see the next time you need to make a decision, you remember how last time clarity gave you a perfect decision. So you begin to trust that now this time clarity will give you a perfect decision too. And it really is this way. It is this way for you, and it is this way for all beings who seize the power of their mind. It is this way for all beings without exception who seize the power of their mind. Relying on the glow of your own intelligence, which is clarity itself, gives you the power, because you have seized the power. You have seized the power of your own mind. All of this comes about through short moments of clarity. The short moments of clarity acknowledge unending clarity. In that single short moment of clarity is acknowledged unending clarity. Not just one instant of clarity. Unending clarity is acknowledged. At first, we may remember to rely on clarity only once in a while. This is okay, and this is the way it is for most everyone. Initially, we remember a short moment of clarity, and then we forget. This is normal. However, we must not give up ever, because by relying on clarity, it does become continuous. It does become automatic. And as it does so, it increases in energy, and it increases in power. Your energy and power as an individual increases significantly. Your skillful means to accomplish all kinds of activities increases incredibly. All of this is part and parcel of seizing the power of your own mind, which is clarity itself.